Good afternoon. In today's video, we'll be trimming my Chinese fringe. It's kind of the same kind of bush that is behind me and the same ones that we've done air layerings on, but I have a actual tree in a pot that needs to be trimmed. This will be the last time for this year. And then there was a propagation method that I tried out this year that I had really good success with. And I wanted to share that with you guys, and I hope you guys maybe find some benefit in that and give it a try if you've struggled with propagation. But I hope you enjoyed today's video, and we'll get into it. All right, so here is our Chinese fringe that we're going to be working on today. It needs a final trim before the winter season as we're going into fall. And this little shoot here, it actually began as a small bud back in the spring, and so as you can see, it's grew quite a bit. These Chinese fringes, they do grow rather quickly, and so I think I've trimmed this tree maybe at least 4 times this year to kind of work on its shape. And so we're going to do one more trim before the winter season, and we'll get into that now. So as we begin working on this tree, this branch here, I'm actually going to leave it. I'm not going to do any trimming on it. I need it to grow a little bit thicker, and it will also act as a sacrificial branch for next year. So we're not going to be trimming this branch, but for all of these others, we're going to be trimming them back to 2 buds. And so we'll start over here, looking at it, examining kind of the layout of the tree. We've got a branch that comes over here. We'll push him to the side. So we have structure here that is doing pretty well. So we'll start with this here, and we're going to cut him back to about 2 nodes, which is about right here. And we'll go back to here, and we have bifurcation here. So we're going to leave that, and then we're going to go back to 2 buds here. Here we got 2 nodes. Cut it there. Probably need to wire this down. Same thing with these, wire it down. And all these other ones will go back to 2 nodes, like so. So here we're going to wire these down. So I'm going to wire these 2 branches together. So go under. like that. Just this. Come around. Like so. Wire that and like that. And then this one, need to wire down. Down. All right, I think those, and this over here. Wire this down. All right, so this right here we'll need to wire down, and we will wire it to this branch right here. Tried not to mess up those leaves, but I ended up doing it. So those leaves can be rather fragile. Spin that down. This. Alright, I think that is really all we need to do with this tree. So regarding the propagation method that I used this year, it was one that was given to me to try out because I mentioned I had issues propagating, and it's pretty much a oxygen hydration kind of kit. It essentially has three parts. There is the plastic cover that allows it to hold in the humidity and keep kind of create that greenhouse effect. And then you have these kind of styrofoam pieces that you're able to put your cuttings in, and they're color coded to where you can have different variants of trees or plants that you want to propagate. And then inside, underneath, is a bin that has a kind of like a sprinkler in there, and so it constantly runs and it mists the underside of the cutting, and you're able to then through oxygen and mist, it is able to then allow the cuttings to root. Had hardly any success with just, as they see on other articles or videos where, yeah, you just take this, stick it in the dirt, and then a month later you got roots and everything else, and they have great success with it. I never really had true success with that. I guess I just wasn't doing something correctly, and that's probably on me. But with this method, I was able to create new plants out of many different variants of plants, and some of them, one of the easiest ones that I think you can do also is just stick in the ground and it will plant, because they just naturally root easily, is the tiger ficus. And so this is one of the cuttings I did, and this was maybe done 2 months ago, and so I was able to create a new plant from that. Another one that's people say is fairly easy to just stick in the ground is the gardenia. I did have some success with, I took some cuttings and put them in a pot with some dirt and was able to get success with that, but these, they rooted faster doing the hydration propagation method. I believe that's what it's called. This, I was able to do a gardenia, a couple of the gardenias, and one of the ones that I really had success with was the Fukien Teas. And so this was done again maybe 2 months ago, and so it would start off as a small cutting and was able to have roots growing from it within about 4 weeks from this method. I was able to do Japanese maples. This one, I always wanted to get those working correctly, but never was able to get them to root just by sticking them in dirt and watering them and making sure that they weren't overwatered or underwatered, and I had issues with that. And so with this method, I was able to I have a couple of Japanese maples now that I was able to do from cuttings. Another one was the crepe myrtle. So I always wanted to do a crepe myrtle, and again, there was another one that you say that you can easily stick in the ground and they root. I could not get any cuttings from crepe myrtles to root until I did this method, and again, within about 3 to 4 weeks, I had roots coming off of these, and I was able to stick them in the dirt and be able to allow them to grow. And then the Trident Maples. Trident Maples, almost varying thickness of the cutting, whether it was a hardwood cutting or a softwood cutting, I was able to get roots coming from those. And so when I shared this information with a few, they were very surprised that I was able to use this method, which I consider it like cheat codes to propagation of cuttings, the amount of success I was getting with these. With these cuttings, I'm now able to have more varieties of trees and have more trees to be able to work with and train, and to potentially get them to a point where I could share them with other people and get them interested, or share with other members in the bonsai society that I'm a part of, to be able to give them trees to work on, because they've been very helpful to me. I wanted to share this method with everyone that I've discovered. I think it's not a new method. It's not a method that probably a lot of you haven't really looked at. I don't really see many bonsai channels or forums talking about this method of propagation of cuttings. They usually just say, take a cutting, stick it in the dirt, water it, maybe put a clear bag or a clear lid on top of it, and within 8 weeks they've rooted. For the time I've been doing it, that has not been the case for me. But I hope that sharing this method with you guys, you're able to try it. And you can easily find one of these online, cutting propagation kit on Amazon, and you will see these type of hydration type propagation kits. So I really hope that this was informative and helpful, and to those out there who may be as frustrated as I was trying to get cuttings for the first time as you start this new hobby.